Under the Scope.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Scope Fall Film Flam. Just got out of another movie. This time we saw Captain Phillips. This one's based on a true story. And today I'm joined by guest host Carrie. Carrie says hi.
Hi.
So, what is Captain Phillips? Captain Phillips is based upon the true life story of Captain Phillips, strangely enough. Played by Tom Hanks, directed by Paul Greengrass. There really aren't any other actors that you might recognize, really. I saw some faces I knew, but I couldn't put names to faces, so we won't even bother with them. Captain Phillips he's an ocean liner captain for the Maersk Line. He comes from New Hampshire, but his latest voyage comes out of Oman, and they're going down to Kenya, and that takes them directly through Somali pirate waters. So I bet you can guess what's going to happen. And hey, if you follow the real life story of what happened, then you pretty much know what's going to happen, because that's what the story is based on real life. So if you are aware of the story of what happened, then there probably aren't going to be too many twists and turns along the way for you. So the ship gets underway out of port, and eventually they get out into open waters, and they pick up a couple of boats on radar that are coming into, well, we don't know yet. They assume that they might be fishing boats, they might be pirates, but they're kind of assuming the worst. They manage to do some maneuvers to kind of get them to pull off, and I think that one of them turned away, and another one burns out the engine. But these guys, the pirates, are tenacious. They regroup and they come back for another attack, and eventually successfully board the ship. A whole series of things go down on board. As you may or may not know, commercial shipping vessels, they don't typically have weapons.
Why?
I don't know.
Do they now?
Maybe they do now. This takes place in 2009, though. So at that point, at least on this ship, they didn't have any weapons beyond maybe some personal knives. A handgun did appear at one point, but really nothing that's capable of propelling a boarding party. They pretty much rely on a series of hoses positioned around the kind of circumference of the boat that I guess are supposed to make it difficult to approach, and then they basically rely on their speed and do some maneuvers to try to keep boarders away, and obviously in this case that wasn't successful. So things go down, and eventually the pirates they get away, but they abscond away with Captain Phillips in the lifeboat, and then our chase really begins. The Navy gets involved eventually, and there is a big showdown on the sea, which I won't go into the details, but you kind of know what's coming. So that's the story. What did we think about the film, Carrie?
Why do I have to start?
Because I've been talking a lot.
I don't know.
What did you think, first of all? Did you think it was a good movie?
I thought it was a good movie.
Good movie? For me, yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think it was good. I don't know if it was great.
No, I don't think it was great.
Part of the problem is, like I said, if you know the story, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
And so it's really, really, really difficult to build tension. I mean, all you can really do to play with is the timing of things and try to catch people unawares. But things sort of build to a head in a way where you kind of know exactly when I guess the climax is going to happen.
Yeah.
So it was still very dramatic, but
if you don't like shaky cam, this is not a good movie for you.
That's another thing.
Too much of it.
It's a lot of everything is pretty much shot handheld, except for if it's a helicopter shot.
I understand they're making it look like you're on boats.
Yeah.
But it still was a little confusing in parts, I thought.
That's valid criticism. I agree. I think it was, initially when we see right at the beginning, we see the Somali pirates sort of, I guess, collecting crews to go out on piracy missions.
Yeah.
Everything was done handheld. It was sort of difficult to see what they were up to.
Right.
But it's the modern style. It's definitely Paul Greengrass' style. He also did Bourne Ultimatum. I'm trying to think what else he's done, but yeah, he's definitely a handheld kind of guy. But the performances throughout were pretty good.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is very good. I mean, he's a very good actor. And he's very good, and especially right at the end after he's been rescued. Oh, spoiler alert! Sorry, he gets rescued. when he gets rescued, he has a very, very excellent scene when he's being kind of seen to by the ship's medical officer.
That was the best scene in
Yeah,
the movie.
I mean, it's gripping. It's pretty intense what he had to deal with. Oh, my camera's kind of moving here. Whoa! Going around the corner here. I don't know. I mean, it's a really great emotional impact way to end the film, but I don't know that it makes up for the kind of the shortcomings of the rest of the film.
I don't think so.
So, now we got to merge with traffic here.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the only part that was emotional at all. Like, I didn't get freaked out or too tense.
Yeah.
Even when they were in the lifeboat part. I don't know.
It seemed, yeah.
I don't even. It was just kind of like meh.
Part of the problem too is that you're dealing the pirates aren't very smart, or there's too much ego sometimes. Like the main guy was just he really wanted to show his bosses that he was a top dude and he could take care of business, but and then he wouldn't. I don't know. They also just weren't very smart.
Well, they're just taking volunteers on the beach, basically.
Yeah, true enough. So,
if that's true,
it's sort of amazing that the Somali pirates have been able to do anything at all. Just they don't seem like they're very good or very smart or very organized for that matter. But who knows? Anyway, it's probably about time we give this thing a score. If you're not aware, we always rate our things on a 0 to 4 scale with quarter-star increments. So let's give this thing a score.
The Scope score is 2 3/4 stars.
So there you go, 2 3/4 stars from your Scope Mobile Review crew for Captain Phillips. It's not a bad film, but it's definitely not. I don't think it's going to be an Oscar contender.
No, I wouldn't put it as one.
So, if you're looking for something to see, maybe it's worth your time. But there's probably going to be other films out there in October that are definitely more worth your time. So take that into consideration. We'll be back all this month probably with more Fall Film Flam films. We've got a whole bunch of stuff coming out that we're going to see here. If you're listening to the show, tell a friend about it. If you're watching us on YouTube and you liked our review, go ahead and give us a like. Maybe you want to subscribe. That's a cool thing to do. Kids are doing that now. So we'll catch you next time, folks. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves once again at the end. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. I know I have. Fear not, Scope faithful. Days shall pass as if they were but a moment, and Jared, Adam, and Shane will return with another thrilling episode. Until then, send your comments to comments@thescopeshow.com or leave a voicemail message by dialing
612-21-SCOPE. That's 612-217-2673.
Thanks for listening, faithful fans. This is Tony Partington saying arrivederci. Tune in next time to another terrific edition of The Scope.